Hello to everyone. Thanks for joining this seminar or this cafe, this alumni cafe. This is yeah. Hello. I don't know if you can see my image.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. So hello to everyone. Thank you for being here. And this is the third alumni cafe. And the aim of this new initiative, which was designed and launched by the Alumni Council, which is a body from eBay that is part, which some alumni are part of this body together with the directing board of the eBay and other staff, with the aim of designing and defining the alumni policy of our institution. Today, we have, as you know, Fernando Ledo. He's a graduate from 2006, and I just want to give the floor to him just to listen to his presentation. I only want to warn you that your audios and your image will be off during his presentation, and once he's done, everybody will be able to participate as a cafe. So you will be able to ask questions, to raise any issue, or just to make any comment you desire. So please go ahead, and thank you very much for being here, and thank you also very much, Fernando, for giving us this third presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Berta. And first of all, I wanted to thank the eBay and the alumni of the eBay to give me the opportunity to express a little bit what I did after I left eBay when I finished my master, and with the intention to try to provide you a little bit my idea of how the current situation is affecting the possible part of our careers, and particularly in my sector. My idea was to give you a little presentation to what I did before and after, and what kind of things the master, or what kind of how I apply my skills that I get from the master in my career, how they help me to evolve, and how I see the future of the possibilities that we have as an international relation experts, or specialists, or analysts, or whatever is the field that you're going to use the master's skills in your career. So I will start to sharing my presentation, okay? And this is why I call it the trend of for a new development landscape. As you see, we are nowadays in a change of the normal that we used to work until now. But in terms of international and the multilateral institution, this change started perhaps 5 years ago. So what currently is accelerating this change. But so in this context, I would like to present so my profile, just to give you an idea how I arrived to the eBay and how they changed me, and then talk a little bit about the institution where I'm working now. So how my position evolved inside the institution, and also it's interesting to explain a little bit, and to then change to the landscape, and from there explain how I think where can be the opportunities. I'm not a specialist of the human resource and the career development, but it's just my feeling and my intuition and my short experience of where can be the path in the future. So, well, I am from Argentina. I'm 45 years old. I did my master degree in 2000. I started in Barcelona in 2005 for 1 year intensive course. At that time, the eBay was behind the CDOF. For the people who know the area, was not in the Pompeu Fabra, was a small, beautiful place. We were around 32, 35, only one course, intensive, morning, afternoon, and was a beautiful experience. So I arrived there as economist, just not recently graduate, but I arrived with some experience. I was working before in my country in the Ministry of Economy, and also in a kind of program of a young professional, and also I was working in the university and as his prof assistant. And I arrived at the master because with 30 years old, I was not too young compared with my other friends in the master. We were a group of, I don't know, 30% with this age, and the rest was just graduated from the minor course. So was a mix between those. My experience, I arrived with some experience to do my master degree. At that time, my personal interest was travel. I was very motivated for economy and sociology and historic issues, but also music and arts. And because I changed my profile a little bit, becoming starting from economy, and then when I start to see different things in my early years of experience, I see the attraction for more policy and history, and this is why I switched to international relations to get my more skills and more understanding on the policy analysis and the political context, and all this. Wasn't a beautiful experience, a beautiful teachers at that time. Fred Halle was on them, Pablo Pareja, Caterina Garcia, Esther Barbé. Was a very, very exciting time. And then right after the master relation, I have a short experience working with Jacine Jordana and La Pompeu Fabra. So 4 months like internships or something like that, supporting and study from the Pompeu Fabra. And right after, I did 1 year in the Bank Sabadell as an assistant in the research area of macroeconomy and macroeconomy and currency, and was particularly interesting at that time because was in the middle of the crisis in 2017, 2018, and the time of Lehman Brothers. I was working in the headquarters of Bank Sabadell in the macroeconomic area. We were in front of the Bloomberg screen, seeing the stock exchange going like in 30s. At that time was a very exciting time to be an economist and learning, and also start to see the complexities of the commodity prices. And from there, because at that time oil was hitting I think the highest price in the history of oil, I think. I started to see the connection between the financial issues with the commodity issues, and there I wrote a small analysis papers about this, and from there they helped me to enter to the development side of the economy, and working with and start to work with Intermon Oxfam. So I did like missions and projects with Intermon Oxfam, helping so in Central America, in Guatemala, in south of Mexico. It was my first real approach with development. And then also in Tanzania. From there, my curriculum started to build up, and in an interesting way, and there was an opportunity to enter in the African Development Bank, and this year, the topics, started to change after have the master, and have the opportunity to understand more politics, and for theoretical point of view or relation point of view, to be more interested in politics. And today I can say that my topics of preference are politics, multilateral institutions, finance for development, and the relation between North and South, on South now already, with beneficiary and donor side, and how the private sector enters in, and all the ecosystem start to change in terms of multilaterals. And then also economic and political analysis, agriculture, of course, and the role of science and technology in this process. So I become, and then because I moved to live to Africa, and I'm living in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, since 2014, but previously also with all the travels that I did before for have the experiences to be in the field. So my personal interest changed, and I become more ethnology, and I'm very passionate to understand the relations, the issues of identity, particularly in Africa, where there are many different tribes. Also the music, and a particular side of the field, that is the rural livelihoods. Cities are become similar in different parts of the world, but what keeps authentic is the rural side. And because I'm living alone and in a very distance of my culture, the family and friends and nature become also topics of interest, and they change. And this is how my career, my personal part. So if I have to talk about my role in the institution is a Multilateral Development Bank. Is born in the late 60s as a tool at that time, following the experience of the World Bank. Several regional development banks start to set up, like Inter-American Development Bank, like the Asian Development Bank, and the African Development Bank. And the main reason of finance through multilaterals is because they have the opportunity to provide loans to the public sector, to the governments, to build infrastructure in very convenient terms. So at that time, the very original of the institution is support the hard part of the development in the nation that they need to build in terms of particularly in infrastructure. So these institutions have stakeholders, and the owners of the institutions are the countries. And the countries have a representation in the institution accordingly to the stocks on the money that they provide to the funding the institution. So you have a relative power to the money that you have. And they have like two main institutions that used to govern the bank. One is the board of governors. They usually are the Minister of Finance, or the representative Minister of Finance, and also have the executive board of directors. And these are in-house. So there are people who travel to the institution and live in the institution and participate in weekly meetings, and everyday meetings with different part of the banks. And the middle of the week, you have the board session. The bank take the decision, the daily decisions, approving policies, approving projects, approving a special initiative. And this is like, you can say in a website, is to be part of the House of Commons, or be part of the Senate. Then you have commissions, and they come, different parts of project or initiative of papers, for different aspects, is from salaries of the staff to the financial risk analysis and reports and projects of particular relations with the particular country. So all have to be in the debate of the board, and they have to be approved. So the countries have a representative, and I was selected to be a representative from working from Oxfam or in development. My country, Argentina, have the opportunity, like a period of 4 years at the board because it's a rotation. It's a 20 chairs that have to share 75 countries. So they rotate in the headquarters that originally was in Tunis, and then they moved it in Abidjan. And well, the roles are analysis, monitoring what happened in the bank, and also be part of the negotiation between different parts of the day-to-day activities. And also you have like two hats, and one is working for the institution, trying to protect the interest of your country, but from the day-to-day workload of the institution, and also you have to push bilateral interest. So sometimes you have to put the hat of your country and do some kind of diplomacy, and you are representing your country, so you are pushing the bilateral interest in the institutions, and also you need to, you know, think, design, coordinate different things, and to try to help your country to get more exposure in the institution. And particularly for my side, because I was representing Argentina, Brazil, I was in the field of South-South cooperation dialogue that is a little bit different with the North-South, because there are not too much political interest and interference of intention to do that. So my position finished in July, August 2017, and I have an offer from the cabinet of the president to continue to work to do my job, previous job, but supporting from the bank side of the table. So particularly trying to help initiatives relating to for investments and develop of agriculture, because Argentina and Brazil are very strong players in this field in technology, and the current policy of the bank is supporting the technology change of trying to improve the production of food in Africa. So I'm doing this since 2017, so my role changed a little bit. So I start to lead the multi-party relations, but between investors, local, more from a broader perspective to the sectoral, but representing Africa, and not the donor side. And in this also implies have missions to the African countries and negotiate and promote and I talk with the different ministers and different countries of Africa, and also to promote, you know, new partnership, because if we are trying to bridge new technology, you need to create new ways to put all together. And regarding the future role, this is a question, because it's not depend 100% of me. But if I can choose, I can say I would like to go, having this experience, 6 years of experience in the institution, go for more responsibility in the origination of the project, and also assume more the role of leading teams, team building, and contribute and add a little bit more value to the strategic for the department. This is, you know, try to put all my experience. So then, okay, this was my background, my past, my present, and now I think I will try to introduce some idea. Maybe it's from the debate later, and we can talk about this. But if I have to explain where is going to be the opportunity for international relations in the future, I need to put a context and not to see in the table what are the trends that we are seeing now and how we can affect. So particularly the institution like us, like our institution that is promoting the national development through the cooperation, international cooperation. This is fun. This is putting money in the other countries, you know, official and not official money, but we try to channel. This is a complex, it's an ecosystem to try to move money from the north to projects in the south. And one first aspect that is create distortion in this system was the economic crisis, first in 2018, and perhaps for Africa in particular, the Brexit also is important because the UK presence in some countries in Africa is strong, and then the budgetary capacity is not the same. So, and the economic crisis create restrictions the budgetary of the country. So when they have to decide how much money they put in cooperation, now is different. So they have more pressure internally. The voting or the voters of the taxpayers in donor countries are raising questions about how much money, so putting pressure on more transparency and reduce because the needs inside the donor countries are growing, and politics are sometimes difficult to decide, and from there, so we have like a need from the traditional donor countries, particularly is the need to add new players as a source of finance. So as a particular point in the time was in 2015, the multilaterals put all together and develop a document that is billions to trillions, with the idea to add more how we can billions public sector or public taxpayer money from donor countries to trillions, the outcome of the money who come to different countries from the receiving the beneficiaries. And the idea was to leverage capital, private sector capital, who is in the financial markets, what are in the financial, trying to leverage from there. So it was an initiative trying to see how we can do, but have some limitations because it's in terms of risk. It's not only a political decision, and the money coming from private sector have a different way to see the risk in the market. So what they're trying to do, and because behind of this also was, and you can explain together with institutional, what we call institutional proliferation. That is mean that there are new multilaterals coming, particularly with the influence of Africa and BRICS. At that time was created, the BRIC banks were created as a bank represent that is formed by Brazil, Russia, India, China. So, and also was a strong one is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. These two institutions are reflecting that the new economic power in all parts of the world, they don't have the space that they think they need or they deserve in the traditional institutions. I mean, if China and India could have reflected in the voting power the current economic power, maybe this institutional proliferation never happened. But because the traditional donors that at that time when the institutions were created, they keep the voting power, they create some pressure so China decided directly to create new institutions, and with the same side maybe that the World Bank. This is proliferation from the donor side. That it means more the intention to have more political and more economic presence in the countries, in the developing countries. But also what happened is that the market from the beneficiaries is reducing, because if you take China and India outside the equation, so it's only rest Latin America, small countries in terms of economic influence in Asia and in Africa. So all become Africa and Central America. So, and it was a kind of a restructuration of what we can say the markets, And then also this migration of power also affect the current status of the West, and we see that what happened with the climate change agenda is that we were working together to try to reach agreements, to try to organize the way that we can structure all the policies behind a common agreement, and then the main players of the system don't participate. So this is it's a work that we were working from the last 15 years, from Rio until a couple of years ago. Now it's blocked, and then we don't know where we go. So we don't know who calls or what we talk. What is the title of the initiative? Because there's a narrative that now is diffuse, and we cannot coordinate. It's implied also behind that there are, a new political power who's coming with another interest. So, and then what is affecting the multilateral as well as part of the same process is the rebalancing the power between West and China. So China is coming to the market and changing, the way that the West was dealing with the developing world, particularly because they can provide the same or even higher quantity of funds to the governments. So they have a new instruments, and we are, the renminbi is coming to the developing and mid-income countries as a new source of finance. And this is also, we have a new administration in US that is trying to change or challenge the current global value chain, saying that, so affecting different way to see the commerce, to see the investment, to see the distribution. So this is all changing. So now coordination is quite low, and particularly the last year was you can, if you read the newspaper and you are trying to follow in this there's a political crisis inside the Bretton Woods system. So we have problems or change in the heads of the World Bank, chasing the head, and innovations in the Inter-American Development Bank. We have in the World Trade Organization, we have challenge, and with the health organization as well. So all this West and particularly US is trying to force a new normal on the traditional system, what we are part of. And well, in this context, to finish, so how I see it, where is going to be the new opportunities of profiles in international relations, in the international development. So now we have new institutions. When you have traditional institutions, the partnerships flow more fluid. But when we have a new partnership that they are competing, not competing in terms of they try to impose a new model or new value. No, they are competing for more market. This is a reality. Asia is not trying to bring a political system. They not challenge political system, its instrument. They are trying to get more part of the market. So they need new partnerships. And for instance, Europe and Latin America as well, they are trying to, they have to try to offer and scan a new how they can work together with this new institution. This is sort of a new partnership. And because you need to identify what we can do together, perhaps it's more important. I think that the people need to know more or have more sectoral skills, concentrate in development, in agriculture, in technology, in medicine, in health, in security, than to have a general aspect of the international relations, because they're going to help to match to other profiles in the institution to create the partnership. So generic is a service that works when there's a fluid and they have a lot of history. So from the university and the skills production, I think that we're gonna need more innovation, because it's a new normal and the new system is changing a lot. So I think that we need new or innovative master degrees, I think, One example that I like very much to mention is the initiative that eBay support, that is Science and Diplomacy Summer School. I did it last year, and the idea is fantastic because you are using the science as the scientific, how you say in English, the scientific point of view to agree the different part of the, in particular in terms of confronting ideas, and they are very difficult to reach agreement between different point of interest. Science have a procedure to that what is in the lab working is the truth, and build the truth on science evidence, and that this is very interesting not only to scientists, it is not to other people taking this approach, how we can use something that have less discussion inside to reach an agreement. This is an initiative that was perfect for me, and also we have the opportunity to interact with different complex and institutions in science, understand how it's work, and this is going to help us a lot, help me a lot, particularly for innovation and science in agriculture. And well, for the beginning of the career, what happened to me, and I think it's going to be happen more strongly now, is that the need to have a flexibility and be prepared to work within stability. This is going to be a new normal. So the idea that you need to create, you can create a career development, a traditional path to create your career, maybe is a challenge because all things is changing each 6 months. So you have to be prepared to swap and change and be flexible and be ready to, I don't know, to in terms of financials, I don't know, maybe if you want to take a mortgage after when in your first job, maybe it's going to be quite hard, no? And particularly my final recommendation of my final things that I want to do, that the feel experience and develop personal skill to create value matters. What I'm trying to say with this. It's important to leave the university, and it's important to go to the field to understand the real problems and try to match what you learn in the university and to see what happened. Because when you are reading papers and there's a common narrative and they are building from another narrative, and everything seems coherent and seems to have a logic, but when you go to the field, you see that the people are using the same titles to express different contents. So in order to avoid to repeat only for reading, it's important to go and get some field experience, and you can do it in different ways and apply for maybe positions that they are not so attractive in terms of career development, or salary, but they give you the opportunity to have and show to others that you have the experience in particular fields. And also it's important in terms of that you are creating partnership, and then you are and you try to how I can say to business development, you need to have something to offer and grow from there. So if you are good to organizing panels, if you are good to approaching, to have the first approach to other people, you need to have this skill. This is important because this have a value for something, from someone, and they're going to help to get involved in the machine. So this is my 4 ideas that I was thinking to show you and to share with you. And well, I think this is all from my side. I hope you can understand my French, English, Spanish mixed language, but well, I'm happy to be here, and I hope you enjoy my small presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Fernando, for such an interesting presentation.